And welcome one and all to this reinforced iron plate sort of blueprint run through. So today that's what we're going to be doing. So first of all, I'm going to just put up a bit of a boundary wall, just 3 across and then all across the back. Just leave them first 2 open because we're just going to put 2 of our conveyor walls in there. Okay, that's that done. So let's just put in the assembler. So I'm going to do this sort of like top down. So the assembler is the last part. So it's at the floor. It's at the so we're going to put this pretty much in the center. Just back up a little bit. Let's just box it in with a couple of edge doorway type of concrete walls. Okay, right now I'm just going to put in a couple of small storage containers. That way we've got sort of like 2 outputs coming out here, because these type of reinforced plates, sort of like blueprints, are probably going to be used a lot for adding to another sort of, you know, factory when you're making something that requires reinforced plates. So having 10 coming out of this is not a bad idea because it works for a lot of other recipes. So let's put a bit of a splitter on here just to make sure the input is pointing towards obviously the assembler. And we can just put the Mark 1 plate, Mark 1 belt in there. Should do it fine. This is only going to do 10 reinforced iron plates per minute. Just join these to the outputs. Okay, that's that done. Let's set up the assembler. Yep, we're all connected. All seems all right. All right, the assembler. So we're just going to do the normal reinforced iron plate recipe, which only does 5. So we're going to have to put in a couple of power shards just to double up that output. We're going to need 120 screws to come in here and 60 iron plates. So next step now is let's build this up. Now, how you build your factory, you know, is up to you. This is the way I like to do it. I think it's a good technique to. I think it suits well internal and external as well, which is always a bonus. So if you're making a big factory, you can easily put this on the floor anywhere, or it can be just as home outside in the wilds. So let's top this off with another concrete wall, and so that's basically 3 walls high, and then we'll put in a floor. So going for the 1 meter foundation here. Again, you can use any materials. I just like the concrete. Okay, that's in. So now, I always keep doing that for some reason. I just tend to end up flicking V for some reason. Right, I just need to put in the inputs here. So just going to put some elevator holes right here. And that should be in the right spot, hopefully. So now we need a Mark II conveyor for the screws because there's 120 required for that, so that can go in there, and we just need the Mark 1 for the plates. So from this side, the Mark 1 will be fine. Okay, lovely jubbly. Moving on. Right, let's get our first border wall up here. So again, we're just going to go all the way around, apart from the front. We don't need to go on the front in this case, and we'll see why in a short while. So with the power shards. It's quite a tidy little setup. This, it doesn't look too busy either, which I quite like. Don't like things crammed in. I know you can make huge sort of outputs from these blueprints, you know, if you do a lot of clipping, etc. But I actually like the openness of a factory, so this is as much clipping as I'm willing to accept. So, but it's still functional. So I'm going to be putting a constructor right here, but first I'm going to put in the splitter because we need this butted right up to the wall. So it's in the center of a tile. Make sure the output is out towards the back, and yeah, but right up to the wall. So same for the next one. Should do that. And let's get the constructor in, and it's important that you get this for a little later on when we connect the mergers. But we're going to constructor, and we're going to butt right up again, so it just sort of changes color once there. So right up again once there. Okay, so let's this is going to be just a normal screw one for now. So we have 40 screws there, so if we put one shard in there we get 60, and if we equal that on the other side, so if we add the screw recipe to this one, and then again add the shard, and you got 60 coming out of that one, all for 15 iron rods in each, so that's 30 iron rods required. And we've got our 120 screws, what we need. So yeah, 60 in that, 60 in that, perfect. Right, let's see if we can connect these. So again, just about see inside there, just to double click inside of those. Sometimes I forget to do that and end up when I'm out in the field, I've realised I've missed out a couple of belts because it's easy to do, to be fair. But it's easily repairable too, and then you just go back to your blueprint, add it and resave it. So again, same deal on this, and this is for the plate. So butt right up at the wall with the input pointing towards the rear wall, and again get the constructor, butt it right up to the splitter, but only that it changes color once. That should be enough. There you go. Let's do the belt again. Okay, let's set this so iron plate, which does 20, but we need 60. So again, we're going to add the shard to make 30 for 45 ingots. So basically, times 2 is 90 ingots. So again, same on this. We need the 60 plates, or we could actually go here. You know, like I said, it's personal preference. You could add 2, but then your splitter would be unbalanced. It would still work, probably wouldn't affect it too much, but I think it's actually better if you do it an even split as much as you can. Then you're splitting it better, you know. Otherwise, you're waiting for things to ramp up, and yeah. So yeah, I would personally, I would keep it as a split, evenly as possible. It's not always possible on these builds, but you know, in this case we can. So we have 90 ingots required for that, and we've 30 iron rods, which is also 30 ingots. So that means we need 120 ore. Since 120 ore equals 120 iron ingots. Right, so now we just need to connect our outputs to our inputs. So let's get in the elevator first. Okay, let's get the merger in. Now, if you've done this right, you should be able to butt straight up and be directly in line. Make sure your output is heading to the right direction, to the elevator, that is. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to belt these up. So from the plate side, we only need the Mark 1 completely, really. To be honest, it's a maximum of 60 coming out of here, so Mark 1 is fine. Mark 1 is fine for this one because it's throwing out 60, so we're fine with the Mark 1 there. And fine with the Mark 1 in here. But out here we need the Mark 2, obviously. And actually we need the Mark 2 there as well. Otherwise the elevator will be choking the point. So, yep, that's all done, that's all done, that's all good. Right. Right, we can now to go up a level to put the floor on, but because of what I want to do with the access, what we need to do first is just to put a couple of rows of these 1 meter walls, and then we can put in the roof and the floor of the third floor. So we can get that one up. Okay, all done. So I'll show you what we do now and why we just put that little extra up. So just let me, we just need to connect our input. So this needs the ingot, so that's got to go up to the next floor. Easy way of working this out, and it's just work it out. So that's close enough to along that line. So we just trace that line up. There you go. And we can put a conveyor lift on here. So again, it needs a Mark 2. And then we can do the same with this other side. Or the same. But this only requires the Mark 1. Because this is just for the rods. And there's only 30 of them. Right, of the jubbly. Right, yeah, I was going to do that first. Let me show you what the access I'm talking about. So what we're going to do is just add into the blueprint a little access, and for that we're going to use the catwalk from the architecture. So miss that first one and make sure you actually get the barriers on the right side. Miss the center too, and then inside we're just going to put a couple of blank plates. Right, at the end we'll just use the end catwalk pieces, and then we just need to bring this out by 2, and we actually need to use the one with the barrier. Right, now you can either use stairs or ramp. I just think the ramp looks a little nicer, but it just takes a bit longer to get there. So we're going to go up a couple. Add the end point on here, and also we need to add the end point on there. Right, now we can go back up again all the way to the top. Should work. And then to head down to the floor, we're going to go down a couple, turn it around using the end points. And then we can just... Now, if I go too far down here, straight to the floor, it's going to look terrible and block our entrance in a way. Well, we still get past it, but it just looks messy. So I'm just going to go down a couple. Just a couple of... I should do that. I'm going to go... put a couple of the crossings in. And then finally take it down to the ground from there. There you go. Looks much better. I quite use a lot of these catwalks in a lot of my blueprints, so yeah. But like I say, it's personal preference. You can actually make this whatever you want. You make it a full factory. You know, it's all up to you. This is just my interpretation of that. So we've got the end there. Now we just get a little barrier on here, and then that'll make that all matching just nice. Okay, we're all done there. Right, what we need to do now is to get another wall. And we need to add the smelters and such. So we just get the border done here. Okay, so that should finish that off. Right. So we need here a couple of smelters and a constructor for the iron rods. So first thing first, let's get the constructor done. So let's put in again a splitter. So we'll do the same thing as before. Point the input to the wall and butt it right up. Not as crucial on this section, but we might as well keep it the same as we've done the rest of them. Right, let's do the same thing with the constructor. Okay, iron rods, so 15 there, which obviously we need 30, so we just banged that up to 200%. I appreciate that, you know, we're using more, you know, power this way as well, but, you know, it's just simpler to do, and like I say, it's my preferred method to have less is more. Right, so we put a merger on here, which is not necessarily required, but I think aesthetically it looks better. Yeah, so let's put in again just a Mark 1 elevator there, and let's we just need the Mark 1 belt. So just take that to the end, drop it back a couple, do there, and that should give us a perfect 90-degree turn. Okay, let's just get this belt in here, tucked in, that's nice. Same for this one. We obviously need to get the ingots on here and get it over this belt somehow, so let's do that next. So we need to put in a couple of smelters. We need 120 ore, so 2 smelters will do. Again, we'll be using the power shards just to increase the capacity a little. So let's see what we got here. We can pretty much butt right this up to the conveyor holder. So let's get it in the center so that it lines up, you know, with a conveyor belt wall. And I think there should just be enough room, which there is, just to get that last one in. So let's remove that wall first, and let's add in the conveyor wall at the bottom. And let's now add in the splitter. So we've got, we're too close there, I think. The splitter doesn't work that well when it's right butted up against the wall for a conveyor hole, so it has to be one step away really. So, and this is too close for the smelter, so let's just knock that out by one smidge. I should do there. That's too close. That's there. Let's marry the other one up next to it. Okay, I should do that. And let's build these up. Okay, that one's done. Actually, that needs to be 120 or this, so that has to be a Mark II. But these are alright being Mark I. So change that to iron ingot, like I said. That's 30 ingots per minute, so double that up with a couple of shards. Gives us 60, which is what we need. So that's that one. Let's do the same deal with this one. Okay, that's it. Right, so now what we've got to do is we obviously need to feed 90 down that hole and 30 over to our constructor there. So first of all, let's put a splitter on, and we'll split this first one into 230s. So ideally, like I said, this needs to be reasonably close for our connections to work. So yeah, just again one in, just till it sort of highlights. That should work. And let's put a merger here on this one, lined up. And let's put our escalator here, which is got to be a 2 again, because obviously we're sending 90 down to it, so we need a Mark II belt. Here can just be a Mark I though, so Mark I in to connect the 30 from there, and connect that there, connect that there. Now we need to get across the belt. Obviously we just can't do it straightforward, so we'll put a lift here, point it back towards the constructor and face the constructor input away. And if you've done the lining up right, these should just connect straightforward, and that's it. And that's it, we're done. So that technically now should be it. So all we need to know is a little bit decoration. So I think I'm gonna speed this video up a little bit, and I'll decorate the way I want. But it's up to you guys how you want to do yours. But have fun and enjoy the watch. So that's it, it's all done, looks good. Those lights look brilliant. The signs in update 8 with Lumen, it's a whole different ball game. It just had the perfect ambient light. So there you go. All we need to do now is to add power, and then we're good to save it and good to rock and roll. So let me speed the video up again so you guys are not just hanging around watching me do power stuff, and I'll see you right back shortly. And that's it. Basically, we have a 10 by reinforced iron plate. So we just guess now saving our blueprint. Also on the right there, you can see all the materials that are used in this blueprint. Normally what I do, I just, in the description, I just put how much of the input I'm expecting. But I've actually put that on signs as well inside the blueprint. And you could add other things as well, you know, depending on what you like. You know, choose parts. You know, and that's it. Really, you can. Yeah, see, so we're using like 12 power shards here, and all these other stuff. A lot of these are for the build, but some of these will also be for the design choices. So your mileage may differ. The power shards for sure, you'll need 12 for this. So, yeah, I'll save this as a new RIP times 10 blueprint. And like I said, this is very useful just to bang on. You can bang a couple on one 240 per minute or node, and you know, you're getting 20 reinforced iron plates per minute. Or you can connect it to another input, you know, for a recipe bot needs it. So hopefully it's useful. If you'd like to see this perhaps uploaded onto Satisfactory calculator, let me know in the comments. I can certainly do that. Or, you know, leave me a like, leave me subscribe if you like what I'm doing. It certainly helps the channel out. But yeah, otherwise I think that will do it for this blueprint video. There will be some more, and if you guys have any sort of requests, you know, bang them in the comments. I can always take a look. But yeah, hopefully this has been useful for you. And like I said, let me know if anybody needs a copy of the actual blueprint itself, because I can always put it on Skim and put into the comments where that is, where it's stored. All right, well, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks everybody. Bye now.